Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ed, and welcome to my 5th Plushie review. Now, to start with, the reason I'm wearing sunglasses isn't because I'm on drugs. No, it's because I've got the sun beaming in. But that's another story. And without further ado, I today will be reviewing one of my puppets, who I had named, who I had named Wolfie, as opposed to Foxy, who you would find on YouTube anyway. And well, what to expect? And now let's start with the review. Okay. Right. Okay, let's start with the face, shall we? Well, it's a good thing he agrees. And start with the face. The nose. I love the nose. I mean, I think it's. I think it matches. It might not be terribly realistic. It might not be terribly realistic, but I do think. But I do think it matches the proportions of his face well. And if I could open his mouth for a minute. And so there have is a tongue. I mean, and I wonder how many, I wonder how many plushies, puppets like these have a tongue, whereas, well, some don't. That's another story. And another feature is the teeth, or the fangs, if you please. Because, I mean, don't worry, he wouldn't hurt a fly, would you? And now, and the eyes, I don't know if you can see them clearly, but I can see that again they are very well proportioned, and in terms of the proportions, it does add a little bit of realism, but not a great deal, as with the way the eyes are coloured. If you could take a look up close. There we are. And to continue the review, now then, unless you're squeamish, you can see that really he has no legs. Well, as much as I hate to destroy the illusion, but there you are. I mean, I'm afraid he has no legs. But without further ado, let's proceed on to the ears. I can see that the ears are very well shaped on the whole, very well shaped. And I think, well, controversially, it's what a wolf's ears is meant to look like. And the tail, it's got a nice bushy tail, and all the better to do this with it. This is my way of wagging the tail, just to show he's happy. Isn't life wonderful? And I can see that on the whole, I know there isn't a lot to say about him really, but I think with regards to the colouring, I think the colouring is fairly realistic. Although the tail, as I've shown you, as you've seen already, isn't terribly realistic, especially in terms of the colouring. And if I could, right, if I, and so, let's move on to the paws. Okay, the paws aren't the most realistic looking, because I think what you can see here, I'm pointing at them, is that the claws, they do look, I know they're rather blunt, but I do think they are a little realistic. Although the pads on the paws seem to be in a rather funny shape. So again, it's not the most realistic looking of plushies or puppets rather, and so without further ado, I'd also like to show you the inside. But please don't let me disgust you. As you can see, thanks to the sunlight, like any other puppet, there is a lining on the inside, and also the inside, and the head. And to the head, which is there's just one aspect I forgot to cover, and that's the fact it's got a nice plush head, obviously to help keep it in shape. And fortunately, this fellow is indeed big enough to accommodate my hands. So, in other words, if you have big masculine hands, like I have, you could stick your hand right in and, well, you know, do your and entertain the kiddies, let's say. And believe me, this puppet is ideal for entertaining the kids. You got your hand on the backside, my friend. Oh, by the way, I hope I haven't offended you with that joke. And if I have, please forgive me. And so, marks out of 10, I'll probably give him oh, now listen, I'm not choking you. This is the only way I can hold you. And I hope that joke hasn't offended you either. But more to the point, I think I'll give this fellow a rating of, let's say about, I don't know. I think I'll give him 8 out of 10. I think, because he's not the most realistic looking of plushies cum puppets. But I do think he looks rather sweet. Ah, yes, looks rather sweet, doesn't he? Yes, so give me a hug. Ah, oh, yes. So it's goodbye, and God bless.